Perfect, so let's start standing with our feet together. Turning your heels out to the corners of the room, fronts of the feet to follow. Soft through the knees, bring your hands to your hips, sending your hips all the way back and forwards. All the way back and forwards. All the way back and forwards. And into your midway point between the two, straightening up through the knees. Let's circle those shoulders. And remembering your golden thread, bringing you up nice and tall, turning the head side to side. Then down to the floor, up to the ceiling. And back to center, hands to the shoulders, circle the elbows around. And reverse the direction. Fingertips together, soft through the knees, twisting around side to side. And back to center. Let's lift one leg up and circle that hip open. Reverse the direction. Holding the leg up, point and flex the foot. Gently place it down. Let's change sides. Other leg circling. And reverse the direction. Holding the leg up, point and flex the foot. And gently place it down. Let's start marching those knees with those arms out in front of you. Get the knee up as high as you can. So I appreciate you can't see my knees. Perfect. Nice and long through the arms. Lift your left knee up and then take that left arm back behind you. See if you can look towards your back hand. Arm forwards, foot down, right leg up, right arm back behind you. Forwards and down, left leg up, left arm back behind you. Forwards and down, right leg up, right leg back behind. Forwards and down. Let's do one more of each side. Left leg up, left arm back and hold. Look behind you if you can. Forward and down. Right leg up and right arm back behind you. Forwards and down. Perfect. We're going to keep the legs nice and straight. Take the feet ever so slightly wider than hip distance. Keeping the legs straight, reaching forward so if you can get towards the floor. And then as you come up onto the tiptoes. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Coming up high onto the tiptoes. Exhaling down. And up. Let's go down. And up. For 3. For 2. And 1. And we're going to go into curtsy lunges. So really think about taking a nice big step behind you, not just the kind of curtsy that you do for, you know, somebody royal. You can take a nice big step back behind you. Keep the hip bones facing forwards, don't let them twist open, and then step back and then change sides. And up, back, and up. Feel free to move at your own pace. Keeping the hands on the hips. Well done. Keeping your chest nice and broad. Let's do 2 more each side for 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Holding the one you're on, let's pulse. Make sure there's plenty of space, hip bones facing forwards. Pulsing up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stepping forwards, other side, coming down. Finding your position and pulsing. Get low for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Coming to the back of your mat. Roll those shoulders. Big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, chin to chest. Rolling down the spine. Pause at the bottom. Relax the head and shoulders and the arms. And then bend those knees. Walk your hands out to your plank. In your plank, your legs are straight. Your navel is pulled in. Holding, holding. You can come down to your knees if you need to. Well done for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower your knees, come down into your shell pose, your resting pose. Perfect. Excellent. So we're going to go for a little combination press-up move. So coming into your box position for your easiest option. Harder is with knees further back. Harder still is up on your plank, high plank position. We're going to go press up. So try and keep your elbows into your sides as you come down and up. And then we're going to take knee to elbow and back. And then we're going to change sides. So we press up and then take other knee to elbow. So we inhale down, exhale up, knee to elbow. Inhale down, exhale up, knee to elbow. Keep going, inhale down, exhale up, knee to elbow. Inhale down, exhale up, knee to elbow. One more each side. Inhale down, exhale up, knee to elbow. Inhale down, exhale up, knee to elbow. Well done, perfect. We are going to option to either come down onto your forearms if your wrists are feeling sore and go for scapular push-ups, which is where you sink down into your shoulders and then push back up. Or if you're up for more of a challenge, then continuing with our press-up theme, we're going to come down and go for sliders. It's coming down, hugging your elbows in towards your waist. You're going to lean over to one side, lean over to the other, and then push back up. So you come halfway down, lean to one side, lean to the other, and back up, strengthening all those supporting muscles. Coming down, over, and up, down, over, and up. Let's do 3 more. Down, over, and up. Keep breathing for 2, over, and up, and 1, over, and up. Perfect. Come back down into your shell. Take a moment to breathe. Perfect. And then coming forwards into your low box. So you've got your knees under your hips and your elbows under your shoulders. Perfect. So, you know, when we do our cat-cow, we arch the spine and round. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to bring the leg into it as well. So we're going to take the knee in towards the chest with a rounded spine. And then you're going to arch your back, get that leg as high as you can. We're going to do 8 on each side. So round the spine, bring your knee in as much towards your nose as you can. And then arch that leg up nice and high. Lift it, squeeze the glute. Let's go for 6 of working the same side. And 5, we're in no rush. Keep the navel drawn in. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold at the top, hold. Draw a circle with that leg. straight leg, toes are pointed. Reverse the direction for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee back in. Let's go for the other side. So we're going to bring other leg, knee to nose, rounded spine, and then arching as you get that leg high back behind you. Knee to nose, and back behind. Knee to nose, back behind. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift that leg up high, circle it round. Reverse the direction. And gently place it down, coming up to kneeling. Well done. We're going to take our left leg out to the side. Take your right hand down. It can be in a fist if you would prefer, or you can just have your hand down. And making sure your hips are pushing forwards. You want the middle part of your foot to line up with your knee. We're going to lift that left leg and lower. Keep the foot flexed, lift and lower. If it's too much, you can bend the knee. Lower, lift and lower. For 4, 3, keep breathing. 2, and 1. Hold it up, bend the knee. Point the toe, bring the leg forwards, flexing it back. Keep the knee high, pointing forwards, flexing back. 6 to go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Circle it round, circle that knee around, and reverse the direction. And gently place it down. Coming onto your elbow, your right elbow. Stretch the legs out long, or you can have them bent for a modified. Sorry, let me just adjust my camera so you can see. So option to either have the legs out straight, or you can bend the knees with the top foot in front of the bottom. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, lift up into your side plank and hold. If you've got your legs straight, try and take your bottom leg and lift it up and down, up and down, up and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower down. Fantastic. Let's come back up to kneeling. This time we're going to take the right leg out to the side, and we're going to make sure that the foot is aligned, middle of the foot is aligned with the knee. Left hand or fist comes down to the mat. Sorry you can't see my head, but you don't really need to see it. So we're going to lift that right leg and lower. Lift and lower. Keep the navel in, push the hips forward, lift and lower. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up, point the toe, bring the leg forwards, flex the foot, take it back. Pointing the toes forwards, flexing back, knees bent, pointing forwards, flexing back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's circle the leg from the hip and reverse the direction. Perfect. Gently bring yourself down onto your left forearm. Legs can be out straight, or you can have your knees bent. Top foot in front of your shin. Big breath in. Exhale to lift up into your side plank. If you have your legs straight, then lift that bottom leg and lower. and hold, and hold, and hold. Get the hips high for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down. Well done. Come to lie down on your front. Starting off in Sphinx, elbows underneath your shoulders. And before you go too far, I'm just gonna talk you through this next exercise. So when you're lying down on your front, we're gonna go for what I call Scuba Diver. You can have the hands in or the arms in the cactus position. So you'll be lying down on your front and you're going to lift the head and shoulders up off the mat. And then you're gonna twist over one way. I say twist, lean over to one side and center, and then lean over to the other side and center. So it's less of a twist and more of a kind of bend over to one side and then the other, and we'll lower down in between. So you can straighten your arms now if you like, just for a moment. Keep the glutes nice and squeezed.
So you mean like an oblique kind of crunch?
An oblique kind of crunch, that's exactly right, yes. So we're going to be leaning over, and I'm sorry I can't demonstrate, but it's exactly right. So we're targeting the obliques, which are the waist muscles. So we're going to be using that to lean ourselves over. So starting off with our arms in cactus. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, lifting up the head and the shoulders. Keep the glutes squeezed. We're going to lean over to one side and center. Lean to the other side and center. And you can come down in the middle if you'd like, or you can just stay up and keep leaning and leaning. Nice and slow and controlled. And leaning, keeping your elbows high. Leaning. And leaning. If you're still up, do one more each side. Leaning. And leaning. And then come back down. If that was enough for you, then we can repeat that exercise. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you're going to big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. You're going to lift back up into your cactus. And this time you're going to bend one knee and try and take a hold of it with a straight arm and then come back up. So we're bending one knee, reach back, tap your ankle and come back up. So we're changing sides each time. Reaching back, bending one knee, tapping that ankle and come back. And back. For 5. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Take a breather if you need it. Otherwise, we can do one more exercise for your back. Coming down. Everyone come down. You can either push back into your shell and take a breather if you need. Otherwise, we're going to go for 6 Wonder Womans. So we're going to stretch the arms and legs out straight. Big breath in through the nose. Keep the glutes squeezed. Exhale through the mouth. Lift up. Widen the legs, widen the arms. And then come back down. Lift up and open out and squeeze. And lower. For 4. Well done. And 3. And 2. And 1. Perfect, coming back down. Gently roll yourself onto one side and push yourself up to seated. And we're going to take 8 rolling like a balls for your spine. So bringing your knees in as close to your chest as you can, holding on just underneath the knee, hovering the feet if you can, rounding through the spine, bring your chin to your chest, and make sure that you only roll as far back as your shoulder blade. Please don't roll onto your neck. Rolling back like a ball, and then coming back up. We're going to go for 8 of these. There's 7 and 6, 5 and 4 3, 2, and 1. Perfect, well done. Coming back onto your elbows. Excuse me. Coming back onto your elbows, bring your feet in towards your hips. Feet to hip distance. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale, let's come, bring those hips up as high as you can, pushing into the elbows. Holding, holding, holding. If it's miserable, you can take a little breather. Otherwise, come back down. And then lifting up again. Holding. Keep the hips high, holding, holding. One more time, holding up. And let's lift one leg and the other if you fancy the challenge. Pushing into the heel of the supporting foot. Lift. And lift. Let's do 3 more each side for 3. And 3. 2. And 2. 1. And 1. Gently lower yourself down. Take your arms back behind you so you're lying all the way down. And we're going to hop up into our teaser. So teaser position, in case you're not sure, is seated upright with our knees bent and arms outstretched. So I'm hopping up into teaser. Perfect. And back down. Hopping up. Perfect. And down. Hopping up. And down. Let's do 3 more for 3. And 2. And 1. Perfect. Holding your upright teaser. Well done. We are going to take your arms down to the ground and back up. You can have your legs bent or straight. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Keep the navel pulled in, arms out straight, arms out to the side and center. Side and center. Side and center. Side and center. Gently lower your feet down. Find a comfortable cross-legged position. And we're going to take your elbow or hand down to the mat. Other arm up and overhead, stretching out the side of the body. And coming up and over to the other side. Thought we'd try something a little bit different. I'll give you this option, and then if it's just absolutely not for you, that's absolutely cool. I'll give you something different to do. But if you are up for the challenge, then we're going to take your left leg behind you. Let me just give you a bit more leg so you can see. So we're going to take left leg behind you, so your left knee is forward, and your right leg, you've got your foot resting against your knee. So if this position is just not happening for you, then already we can come back into your low box, and we're going to do a bit of glute work of just lifting opposite. We're going to alternate legs and lift your knees. But if you are okay in this position, option to place the right hand down or have the hands to the side of the head. We are going to lift the left leg and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower for 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up. Let's bring the foot back. Point the toes forward. flex it back, just like we did with the side kick kneeling. Lift, bringing forwards, flexing back, pointing forwards, flexing back for 3, for 2, and 1. Sitting up. We're going to go down towards the right. So let's bend over, take your elbow towards the ground and back up. Down and up. Down and up. For 3, 2, and 1. Stretching that left arm out. Let's go down and up. Down and up. Down and up. For 3, for 2, and 1. Perfect. If you're kneeling, then start taking your knee out to the side rather than just taking it back behind you. If you're in this kind of pretzel leg position, then we're going to switch sides. We're going to have the left leg in front and the right leg behind. You can have your left hand down or hands to the side of the head. And we're going to lift the right leg and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toes, bring the leg forward, flex the foot back. Pointing forwards, flexing back. Pointing forwards, flexing back for 3, 2, and 1. Gently placing it down. Going over to the left now, let's go down and up. Down and up. Down and up for 3, 2, and 1. Let's take that right arm out to the side and go down and up. Down and up. Down and up for 3, for 2, and 1. Perfect, well done. Let's come to lie down on your back. Bringing your legs into tabletop. Squeeze your legs together. We're going to kind of windscreen wiper those legs. So bring your arms down by your sides, keeping your knees together. Take your knees over to one side and then kind of like a pendulum, take them over to the other. Let your hips twist off the ground for this. That's absolutely fine. And then taking your legs as far as you can. Keep your navel drawn in. Main thing is we don't want that tummy to be kind of bulging out. So if it is, then try and don't take your legs as far over to the side. Keep your feet together. Keep your knees together as much as you can. Well done. Keep going. For 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's straighten the legs, take them up towards the ceiling. Point the toes. We're going to lower one leg down towards the ground and then bring it back up and then change sides. Only taking that leg as low as you can without the lower back arching. If it's too much, then you can keep a little bend in the leg, but we're trying to aim for straight, but don't worry if you need to keep a little bend in your knee. Well done. Down and up. Down and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your legs back up into tabletop, so bending the knees. See if you can bring your head and shoulders up off the mat. You can place one or both hands behind your head if you need to. Make sure the lift is happening from your abdominal, so keep a gap between your chin and your chest. Straighten one leg and lower it, pulse it towards the ground for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring it back in and change sides. If it's too much to have your head and shoulders lifted, then you can relax them back down on the ground. And keep switching sides. Well done. Down. We're going to do 3 more each side. So 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a little rock side to side. Well done. We are into the stretch. Place your feet down on the mat and cross one ankle over your knee. Pushing your knee out to a right angle, and if you can, or if you like to, then you can bring your knees up and towards your chest, making sure that top leg, the one that's closest to you, stays at a right angle. Gently release and change sides. And gently release. Bringing one knee in towards the chest, stretch the other leg long. And then keeping your back on the ground, pull that knee over towards the opposite shoulder. It might be better to have the knee higher up or further across the body. You just find where you feel the most stretch and hold it in there. And release, change sides. And release, gently rolling over onto one side, coming up to seated. Let's take your feet together. And you can either hold onto your ankles and use your elbows to push your knees down, or you can hold onto your feet and pull yourself forward that way, whatever you prefer. And then straightening those legs out to the sides. Leaning forwards, keeping your legs straight. Wherever you can reach, keep your head up, so keep your chin away from your chest. And coming up. You can either take a hold of your shin or your foot, keeping your legs outstretched, or you can bend one leg in, and then take the other arm up and overhead to lean across. You should feel this stretching out lower back and side of the body. Coming up and over. If you have one knee bent, then bring the other one in. Same thing on the other side. And back. Let's come to kneeling. Stepping one foot forward, hands down, taking the back knee back as far as you can. Hands can either stay down or come up onto the knee, and then lean the hips forward and down. Bring your hands down, straightening the front leg, leaning back, flex the foot. If your hips have twisted over to the other side, try and bring them back towards the leg that's stretched out. Keep the leg straight and the foot flexed. Try and lean into this. I know it's a really strong stretch. Gently bend to release and take the other foot forwards. Hands down, support back leg back. You can keep your hands down or bring your hands up onto your knee and sink the hips forward and down. Hands down, straightening that front leg, flex the foot. Make sure your hips haven't tilted over to the other side. And release. Coming back to seated. Legs out straight. Take your hands behind you. Ideally, we want the fingers facing away from you, but if it feels more comfortable to have your fingers kind of out to the sides, and that's completely fine too. Let's bring the hips forward and push the chest up towards the ceiling until the point where you feel a good stretch into the front of the shoulder and across the chest. So kind of play around. You can take your arms further back if you like, but if you feel anything in the elbows, any sort of pain, then please ease off and come back in. Reduce the gap between your hands and your hips. And gently walk your hands back in. Let's come to standing. Feet hip distance and parallel. Take one arm up and overhead. Push the elbow down. And changing sides. Picking up your foot You can hold on to something for balance if you'd like behind you. In this position, try and bring your knees together and think about bringing your chest and your hips forward at the same time. Gently release, let's change sides. Again, hips and chest push forwards. Gently release. And then folding forwards from the hips. Relax your head and shoulders, straightening the legs. Gently bend the knees and roll yourself up to standing. Rolling the shoulders. Fingers together, arms up to the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale over to one side, push the hips in the opposite direction. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, center. One more each side. Exhale over to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the second. Inhale, center. Fingertips together, soft through the knees, twisting around side to side. Interlace the fingers behind the back, push the chest forwards as the hands go away from you. Gently release. Roll your shoulders. Let's take your hand with your fingers facing down, very, very gently pulling the fingers towards you, or encouraging the fingers towards you, but really not making any sudden moves here. I'm changing sides. Really shake your wrists. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and week.